So, I just watched a video called Just Say No to GMO, and I would have to agree fully. And the biggest problem I have is the fact I'm being taught this is the way of the future. Like, this is what's going to save the planet. This is what's going to save people. This is what's going to feed them. Now, my name is Brett. Brett Stuck on Life in YouTube land. And this is my first broadcast only because I feel it's such an important topic. Like, this is our health we're talking about. It's just unreal how we take something like that for granted. Well, anyways, I'm taking a horticulture class in Canada at Niagara College because I figured it would be a good education to get, learn to grow food. It's my ultimate goal, really, is to be able to grow my own food and not rely on, people in grocery stores feeding me, GMOs. Like, I can't even go into a grocery store anymore and buy anything. I'm so appalled by everything. I used to eat anything. Now, it's basically everything that makes me sick to my stomach. It's unreal. Well, anyways, in some of my classes, particularly one, plant science, we had to do a GMO project, which we had to explore the world of genetically modified organisms. And it was a fairly interesting topic. Lots to research on that. Like, actually, it was way too much. Like, there was way too much out there that just scared me senseless. But the biggest thing was the teacher seemed to be on the pro side. And I was definitely not on that side. I completely am on the other side of that. And this is where we got into a funny little debate, because he was telling me, like, oh, GMO crops give you so much more yield and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. If you have to dump tons of herbicides and pesticides, that is not good for anything in the environment. Like, these synthetic chemicals, even if it has a little bit of organic material in it, it doesn't even matter. It's still like chemicals, putting it on like crops, and it just allows for monoculture and just wiping out of native species. It's just disgusting. And it really all came down to GMOs allow farmers to make more money. I think it makes the big business more money, and that's what it all comes down to. And it's just disgusting that I'm going to school and being taught this. Now, one of the first experiences I had at school was they took me to a greenhouse conference. And it was interesting. I thought it was going to be cool, and it opened my eyes for sure. Now, one of the requirements of this conference, due to my classes, was I had to go see the keynote speaker. And I was like, which is understandable. Had to do a little write-up on it. And the keynote speaker I had to go see, his name was Joel Goldsmith of Goldsmith Seeds, introducing Syngenta. Just as evil as Monsanto. But I only found that out after. His keynote speech was called The Future as We See It. And I was actually excited to see this one because I thought it would actually have a good point, like the future as we see it. Hopefully he sees a good future. And I was like, kind of hopeful that he was going to say something good. And as soon as he started talking, I was disgusted. The future he sees is, I just want to own you all. I just want to take you over. I just don't care about you. I care about my money. I couldn't believe it. And the funniest thing is, like, my class is very, very, like, they're always a bomb ready to go off. So, like, everybody was, like, asking them, do you focus on native plants? Do you do medicinal plants? All that kind of, like, you know, actually good for the environment, you know, idea of horticulture and, you know, sustainability in this business. And he really had nothing to say. He was like, that's not a part of our company. That's just not the way we work. And I was appalled. I was like, how could someone see the future as that? I just couldn't believe it. After that, I just started seeing what the schools were actually teaching us. Well, anyways, I would just like everybody to really step back and look at the broader picture. Look at what is really being put in front of you in those grocery stores, because it's unreal how much deception is out there. What I think really the main point is here, you really just need to say no to GMO. Really. Because the things I found out in school are just crazy. Like, did you know that Monsanto and alike companies develop seeds called Terminator seeds? And it may sound cool, but it's actually the most scary thing I have heard in a long time. And these are seeds that you can buy from this company. It'll give you a nice genetically modified plant, and the seeds that you collect from this won't germinate next year. Literally, they terminate themselves. And then, you know, the teacher, you know, told me, you know, it has a pro, like, when you're harvesting your soybeans, they can't get damp and, you know, germinate while you're transporting them. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. But it also could be used as a freaking weapon. You know, you take the Terminator gene and you get it in a pollen form, and then you spray it over some poor, well, not poor, but like a struggling small farmer just trying to like make his way by. You spray that Terminator pollen over his crop, and then thus wiping him out. But that would be too sneaky of them. Why didn't they just take all the small farmers to court? Oh wait, they are. I can't even believe that. It's just unreal. People really look at what you're eating and how much impact it not only has on yourself, but on the whole world. Like, the whole world is being dragged down by these companies. And I feel like I'm being brought up in this mess because I'm being taught all these sneaky little inside techniques. Like, we really need to push for all GMOs to be labeled, be it food, well, be it fruits and vegetables or meat or anything. And ultimately, we should just get rid of it altogether. Just say no to the GMO. It's literally a weapon. It's the weapon of choice. It takes everybody down with it. Alright, that's all I have to say on that. Well, probably not. I'll have more to say later. But until then, just make sure you know where your food comes from and stay safe.